All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. So, less than 12 hours after falling to 2 and 4, the New York Jets woke up Gotham on Tuesday morning as they acquired Pro Bowl wide receiver Davante Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, in exchange for Adams, the Jets are sending a conditional third round pick to the Raiders that has the potential to become a second. And you look at this move with some of the other moves that the Jets have made, and maybe you can say that the Jets appear to be all in. I mean, it's one of those where Aaron Rodgers has his guy at wide receiver. And of course, there's a long, lengthy rapport between Rodgers and Adams going back to their days as quarterback and wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. So now, if you're the Jets, you're going to have a duo of Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. And when it's all said and done, I mean, we've seen Robert Saleh be fired. Like I said, several other moves made by the Jets. The onus is on Aaron Rodgers. It was already on Aaron Rodgers following the firing of Robert Saleh last week, but now the expectations, in my opinion, are even higher. So you've got a Jets team. They're 2 and 4. They've got 11 games to go, but will they be able to rebound and become a playoff team? You're looking at the schedule. They've got Pittsburgh Sunday night in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a big game. Then they're at New England. They're home for Houston, and then they're at Arizona. That's three out of the next four being on the road. So sooner, much sooner rather than later, the Jets got to try to figure this out. They're going up against the Steelers defense. Um, this Sunday night. Of course, Pittsburgh has been having a lot of offensive issues of their own. And then they are facing a New England team in week number 8 that is clearly in rebuild mode. And then they've got Houston at home on Thursday night, which is actually Halloween. And it's one of those where a lot of these games are becoming must wins now for the Jets, especially, you look at a team like Houston, where they are one of the top contenders in the AFC. But aside from all of that, the Jets still have their work cut out for them. Why? Because you look at them trying to win the AFC East, and they are fighting a real uphill battle now. Because aside from losing to the Buffalo Bills on Monday night, they're now spotting, or they now have spotted Buffalo. It's technically a 3-game lead in the division. Buffalo's 4-2, but they own a tiebreaker as of right now over the Jets. And not only that, we like aside from Davante Adams going to the Jets, we also saw the Bills acquire Pro Bowl wide receiver Amari Cooper from the Cleveland Browns yesterday, like maybe a couple of hours after the Jets got Adams into their building. So you're looking at it, Buffalo is going to be very formidable in the second half of the season. And I think, the Amari Cooper move is a trade that not a lot of people are talking about right now, but I guarantee you a month or so from now, people will be talking about it more. But nonetheless, it goes back to number 8 for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, and it's put up or shut up time. We've heard a lot, but of course, you haven't seen the results yet. I still think the Jets are going to be a better second half team. I think and this is even before the Robert Saleh firing, even before the acquisition of Davante Adams. It's just one of those. If you follow Rodgers' career, of course, mainly with Green Bay Packers, the teams that he's played for, they were better second half teams. They took time to gel, they got it going, and of course, the rest is history. So you look at the moves. You still got Woody Johnson as an owner. If you're a Jet fan, you can't really be happy about that. But I'll tell you like this: if you're Joe Douglas, the general manager for the Jets, these things have to work because we already saw Robert Saleh lose his job, last week. Joe Douglas is right in that category as well, as I think his job is still on the line. And if this does not work, okay, for the Jets, at least getting to the playoffs and trying to make some noise, somebody else is going to be in charge of this team next season. And if somebody else comes in, I think we could be looking at a rebuild much sooner than expected. But nonetheless, we've also seen the Jets. They've given Hassan Reddick permission to seek trade to another team. Of course, he was acquired over the offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles, has not played as he's looking for a new deal. And it just adds another wrinkle to the saga that is the New York Jets. Nonetheless, on the flip side of this deal, there's the Las Vegas Raiders. And of course, I had the privilege of talking with Coach Dennis Ward about this several nights ago. And to his credit, he did bring up the possibility. This was before the trade of Davante Adams, as far as him getting shipped out of town, and he did. So if the Raiders are in rebuild mode, would Max Crosby be next? And of course, a lot of people are talking about the Lions would be a perfect spot for Mad Max. Why? Because we saw the horrific injury that Aiden Hutchinson suffered Sunday in the Lions blowout win over the Dallas Cowboys. So if you're the Raiders, maybe you just really blow this thing up and start over from scratch. I don't know, but we got to wait and see. But nonetheless, Davante Adams is a Jet, and all I could say is for him and Aaron Rodgers, that this thing better work. That's it. Aaron Rodgers, there's no more excuses. You got to go out there and you got to take care of your business between the lines each Sunday afternoon. So let's see if Aaron Rodgers getting more of his buddies from his Packer days to come to Florham Park and play with the Jets will work. If not, this could be blowing up in his face rather soon. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.